I also want to echo Ebony when I say, when she said this is beautiful, this is beautiful. I get to see this kind of thing when I attend regional events, but very rarely at Widener, so this is awesome. I appreciate you all. We're going to do a little change in the schedule. We're going to start with the 80s and then go back to the 70s. Okay, so Romona Fullman serves as the educator, advisor, and advocate for citizens, lawmakers, policymakers, and community leaders on issues of social justice and the elimination of discriminatory laws, policies, and practices. She currently serves as the director of the Office of the Delaware Commission for Women. In 2009, she was appointed by the Delaware Secretary of State to also serve as director of the Division of Human Relations. Ladies and gentlemen, 2012 Tulsa Trailblazer from the class of 1984, Romona Fullman.
Dean Ammons, members of the faculty, staff, members of BALSA, family and friends, good evening. It's my pleasure to be here with you this evening. Let me first offer my sincere congratulations to my colleagues, those who are being honored this evening, for their achievements and contributions to the legal profession. I am proud and privileged to stand with you on this occasion. Your professional achievements and accomplishments bring esteem to the law school and certainly serve as a role model to the students who are currently matriculating. Congratulations to Ebony and Alicia and all the members of BALSA. I'll tell you a little bit later that BALSA was the best thing about coming to law school was BALSA for me. I'll tell you a little bit about why that is. But to the Office of Multicultural Affairs, and all who are responsible for this convening, for bringing all of us together, past and present. It is a time for recognition and achievement, and mainly for celebration, celebrating what we've done and what lies ahead. Please allow me to thank my mom. I was going to say my parents, but I don't know where my dad is, but he's not here. I have to talk about that. He's working? Okay. I want to thank them for sending me to Spelman College and for encouraging me not to stop there. When I enrolled in law school and was accepted, despite the fact that there were very few African Americans here, I've commented to my classmates back there, wave your hands, my friends, that I think we could all fit at 2 tables when I was here. Maybe we only needed 1.5. But despite the fact that there were very few, I felt I belonged here because my parents had taught me that. So no matter the discomfort that might have been, no matter the imbalance in the numbers, I knew I belonged here because they taught me that. Thanks also to my husband, Gary, for his, last time I got an award, I didn't mention his name, so please everybody, this is my husband, Gary. Won't make that mistake again. I thank him for his continuous love and support and for waiting until I graduated from law school to ask me to marry him. That's been a long time ago. To my sister who looks up to me as sisters do. Where is she, by the way? Okay. Now that excuse is getting a little old, isn't it? Everybody's working tonight. So I thank my sister who looks up to me, as younger sisters do, and to my brother who from his perch in heaven, I know is smiling and applauding. It is a well-known fact in my family that although I was the one who graduated from law school and passed the bar, he was the real lawyer. He was in court more on domestic relations matters, not criminal matters, although, you know, that can happen too. But he was in court more often than I ever will be. And may he rest in peace. My stepdaughter, Nikisha, is not here, but my son, Christopher, raise your hand, and my daughter, Taylor, are here. And all that I do is to leave a legacy for them. As Terry Tempest Williams said, who is an environmentalist, some of you may know her, the eyes of the future are looking back at us and praying for us to see beyond our own time. So my post-law school career has been dedicated to seeing beyond my time. It's certainly not about now, because when you do policy and advocacy, you may not see it in your lifetime. But you lay the groundwork so that change can happen. My work has been to advocate toward eliminating racial discriminations and discrimination and gender inequities. I knew from the beginning that the change I wanted to see would not be easy and would not happen quickly. And that is the truth. So I've been doing this role, the work at the Commission for Women for more than 21 years and have a lot more to do. I have had the privilege to work locally and nationally on such issues as pay equity, health disparities, women's health, women running for elective office, teen pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, education, and the needs and concerns of incarcerated women. And there are a couple of facts. I just brought 3 facts that sort of let you know that there's still much to do. There are now more women behind bars than any other point in U.S. history. Women have borne disproportionately the burden of the war on drugs, resulting in a monumental increase of women who are facing incarceration for the first time, overwhelmingly for non-violent offenses. The other issue, pay equity. Women earn approximately 78 cents for every dollar earned by men, and black women earn 67 cents. Hispanic women earn 56 cents. We've got a long way to go towards equity, and it has nothing to do with educational attainment. It is the disparity, you know, and I'm not going to lecture here, but there was a time when people felt that women's wages were just, that men were the breadwinners and women worked just to work, you know, to buy little things, perfume, pantyhose, those kind of things. But we know that families depend on the wages of women, and we also know that women who earn less now have less to live on. And in fact, a significant, more than 70% of women who are older, 65 and older, who collect Social Security depend exclusively on Social Security, which is based on your wages. And so, if they are poor when they are working poor, they are poorer as they age. And finally, in terms of a fact, 1 in 4 girls overall do not finish high school. 4 in 10 black female students fail to graduate with a diploma each year. There is work to do. As was mentioned in 2009, I was appointed by the Secretary of State, the Delaware Secretary of State, to lead the Division of Human Relations. The division enforces the state and federal fair housing laws and the state's equal accommodations law. Our mission is to eliminate unlawful discrimination and to foster amicable relations among diverse populations. So as I close, I want to go back to a statement I made earlier. BALSA was one of my favorite reasons for being in law school. It enabled me to be mentored by those 2 gentlemen that are in the back, my friends, very different. A scholar and a rebellious scholar who in partnership, we all had our talents and our skills when we were there, and we knew our role in the fight, right, George? We knew what we had to do, and I congratulate the leadership of BALSA now for your work in bringing people together and developing cohesion within the group, because it is important. It happened naturally for us because there were so few of us. But as a result of it, we are friends to this day. I'm so happy that if I see no one and nothing else happened, if I didn't get to pick up that beautiful trophy. The ability to see and connect with people who, during that time, that struggle of law school, I worked full-time and went to school at night, and we would meet over at the whatever Geno's or whatever it used to be right here. We just did our thing together, and having that camaraderie made a difference. I asked Ebony, whether or not BALSA had a platform or some issue. We really were talking to the administration about increasing minority student enrollment. And to the point that one of the results of that was that we did do, I was personally allowed to go to the AU Center in Atlanta. As I mentioned, I went to Spelman to do some recruitment. So that push, we were talking about the fact that when we were here, there was one black law professor, and then another one came, and then the first one left. So, there was the need for blacks, African Americans as faculty was an issue that was important to us. And so having an agenda, having a plan, and making it known was really important. So what my proudest moment while I was here was BALSA. My proudest moment now is Dean Ammons, knowing that you are the dean of this law school. Can we give her a round of applause? And one of the things that we've read the papers about some of the challenges that you've had, that it's important that when you have the kind of change that you want to see, you got to support it. You've got to be there and be strong, and you have got to be prepared, as she was prepared, that when opportunity knocked, she was ready. She was qualified and ready to assume the position, and has done an awesome job. So many lessons in this room, and I'm privileged to be a part of the alumni, and certainly honored to be a part of this celebration. Thank you.
My name is Romona Fullman. I'm in the class of 1984, Widener School of Law. It was a pleasure to be here this evening and to receive this award. An honor to be among so many wonderful guests, but more importantly, an honor to be in front of current students, to encourage them, to share my story, and to inspire their future endeavors. It's a big change from my days at Widener, when there were probably a very small group. Maybe my class had 8 to 10 African Americans, and so to be in a room full of African American students was a pleasure, an honor, and a privilege.